Chapter 1. The Journey for a Fresh Start. Aarav had spent years searching for peace, yet it always seemed to slip through his fingers. His old town was noisy, competitive, and full of arguments, or at least that's how he remembered it. People hurried past each other, carrying invisible burdens on their backs. Aarav believed moving away would solve everything, so he packed his few belongings and set off toward a quiet mountain village he had heard about since childhood. The road to the village wound through forests filled with soft wind and golden afternoon light. As he walked, Aarav felt hopeful. Maybe here he would finally discover the life he always dreamed of. But a small voice inside whispered doubts. What if the new place is no different from the old one? What if people are still selfish, rude, and uncaring? When he reached the village gates, he saw a simple temple built from smooth stones. An old Zen master sat outside, sweeping dried leaves into a gentle pile. His face held the calm of someone who had seen both storms and sunshine yet remained undisturbed. Aarav approached him quietly. "Master," he said, "I've come a long way seeking a fresh start. Tell me, what kind of people live in this village? Will I find kindness here?" The master paused mid-sweep and looked into Aarav's eyes. Not judging, not testing, simply observing. "Before I answer," he said softly, "tell me something. What were the people like in the town you left behind?" Aarav didn't hesitate. "They were unkind, greedy, always finding reasons to argue. I hated living among them." The master nodded slowly, as though he already knew. "Then I believe," he said gently, "you will find the same here." Aarav froze, unable to understand. Chapter 2. The unexpected answer. Aarav walked away confused. What kind of answer was that? He wondered. The village looked peaceful, the people friendly. How could the master compare it to the troubled town he had left behind? Frustration simmered in Aarav's chest. He had expected reassurance, something like, "Yes, you'll find warmth here," or "This is a place of harmony," but instead, the old man's words echoed like a riddle he couldn't solve. Before he could think further, he noticed another traveler arriving at the temple. This newcomer had a cheerful expression despite the dust on his clothes. He carried nothing but a small bag and a flute tucked near his waist, and he greeted the master with a bright smile. "Master," the traveler said, bowing respectfully, "I've just moved from a town I loved deeply. People there were warm, generous, and always willing to help. I hope this village is the same. Will I find good people here?" To Aarav's surprise, the master's face lit up. "Yes," he said warmly, "you will find exactly the same here." Aarav felt his jaw tighten. The same answer, but a different meaning. He stepped back toward them and confronted the master. "How can both be true? How can someone who expects kindness find it here, and someone like me find greed?" The master pointed toward the village road. "Walk through the streets and observe the people," he said. "Look closely at what your heart focuses on." The cheerful traveler set off with confident steps, greeting everyone he passed. Aarav followed slowly, watching from behind, and soon he understood something unsettling. The cheerful traveler received warm smiles, friendly nods, and open conversations. Aarav, however, noticed frowns, impatience, and hurried footsteps. Same village, same moment. Two completely different experiences. Something inside Aarav began to stir. Chapter 3. The Mirror of the Mind. Aarav spent the next few days watching the cheerful traveler. Wherever he went, the man's laughter spread like sunlight, inviting people to respond with warmth. Children followed him, curious and joyful. Elders blessed him. Shopkeepers offered tea. It was as if the entire village welcomed him like family. Aarav observed closely, and a troubling realization began to surface. The traveler didn't find kindness. He carried it. His presence softened hearts. His words lifted spirits. Even when someone seemed upset or distracted, he would respond with patience and understanding until they slowly opened up. Meanwhile, Aarav's own experiences were the opposite. He felt ignored, misunderstood, even disrespected at times. But when he truly examined those moments, he noticed something he had overlooked. He often spoke cautiously, with suspicion in his voice. He avoided eye contact, he expected disappointment, so every small inconvenience felt like an insult. Every neutral face looked cold. Every silence felt unfriendly. The village mirrored whatever he believed. One evening, Aarav returned to the temple and found the master trimming a bonsai tree with gentle care. Aarav sat beside him. "Master," he began, "I watched the villagers closely. They treated me and the traveler differently. Why?" The master put down his tools. "The world," he said, "is less of a place and more of a mirror. It reflects the mind that observes it. When you expect hostility, your eyes find it. When you expect kindness, your heart reveals it." Aarav lowered his head. "So the problem is not the village." The master smiled. "It never was. You brought your old world with you, but the good news is you can change the world you carry." Aarav felt something loosen inside him for the first time. Chapter 4. A New Way of Seeing the Next Morning. Aarav decided to test the master's words. Instead of staying guarded, he breathed deeply and let go of the old heaviness he had carried. He walked through the village with a softer gaze, noticing the small details: the laughter of children splashing water at the well, the scent of freshly baked bread drifting from a bakery, the warm sunlight falling on rooftops like gold. He made a conscious effort to greet people first. Some looked surprised, but most responded with genuine warmth, as if they had been waiting for him to open the door. Aarav helped an elderly man lift a heavy basket. The man blessed him and invited him for tea. He complimented a shopkeeper's handmade pots, and she offered him a discount with a smile. Slowly, the village began to appear different, brighter, more welcoming. But the truth was simple: the village hadn't changed. He had. That evening, Aarav returned to the temple once more. "Master," he said with newfound clarity, "I understand now. People were neither good nor bad. They simply reflected what I carried inside." The master nodded. "Life responds to your inner world. Carry judgment and you will find fault everywhere. Carry gratitude and you will discover beauty in the simplest moments." Aarav felt lighter than he had in years. For the first time, he realized his old town had also held kindness. He had simply been too blinded by frustration to notice it. Maybe the people hadn't been unkind. Maybe he had only looked at them through a fog of negativity. As the sun dipped behind the mountains, painting the sky in shades of orange and rose, Aarav whispered to himself, "Wherever I go, I will carry a heart that sees goodness." And from that day forward, the world treated him exactly the way he treated it, like a friend.